Knows. My name's Robert. Hey, look, there's BJ. Susan will be back with us soon. How are you, BJ?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, we're here to discuss a big deal. In fact, an ordeal. This is, some writing we've been working on, and you're part of the day one class. The day one, in this case, Parkinson's Prison and the hero's journey to escape. And it's a writing class where we look at the hero's journey. And the eighth step of the hero's journey is this thing called the ordeal. Talk to me about what you know about the ordeal and how that inspired your blog, which people can look at here. What's coming up today?
Well, the ordeal is really facing uh, either your biggest fear or biggest challenge. And after diagnosis, it may be that you've retreated a bit and you're trying to accept this new diagnosis, and you're afraid you're not going to have a normal life anymore. And so you have to wrestle with all those things. And then once you make a decision that you're not going to let it hold you down, you have to face it and deal with all the different tendrils of it. And so, to me, um, you know, going through this phase, it's not just a one-time deal. It's anything you face, you have to uh, face it head on and attack it. And but there's a lot of preparation to that as well.
Yeah, and that's right. So I mean, the phase before this is set up to be exactly that, the approach to the inmost cave, right? And the ordeal being the inmost cave. And in the case of your blog, we got you, you were wondering about what to write. So we talked about it and got you to write a scene inside of a senator's office. Now, you've literally done that. You've been in a senator's office, yes?
Yes, I've been to Capitol Hill 3 times, and then I've also visited local offices a couple times here in Louisiana. And sometimes it's just to meet and greet and let them know I'm here, and that's part of the preparation. But when something like the National Plan to End Parkinson's Act comes up, they already know who I am. They know where I'm coming from, and that way, when I approach them, it's not a new person with a new ask. Um, it was funny. I was in a meeting one day with a bunch of veterans, and Representative Garrett Graves showed up. And at the end, he took questions, and I raised my hand and I gave him a compliment. I said, I wish all representatives were like you and did events like this and worked with their constituents and everything else. And then at the end, I said, and I don't even want anything from you today. I just want to say that. So, it's true. So some of that is just being genuine, being yourself and interacting, and uh, not always asking for something, just establishing a relationship.
Well, and that's it. Regardless of title and institutional support, everybody's a human being, right?
That's right.
And it seems like that's part of where you went in this particular piece too. Was first of all, I mean, you wrote it from the perspective of a character who is a first timer, right?
Right.
And was with a bunch of people, and this is fictionalized based on reality, right? And you went in with a certain set of stakes and said, okay, this is what I got to do, and this is who I've got to be. And one of the things I really enjoyed about it was you leaned into the personality, Cecil the Diesel. Talk to me about Cecil the Diesel and what that character and characteristic means about who you are.
So I forget what we were doing whenever I came up with that name. I think it was the first time we talked about Parkinson's Prison, and you said, come up with a prison name for yourself. Mm-hmm. And so I picked Cecil the Diesel because I thought it was rough and tough and everything else. But now I'm using it as an alter ego in order to plow into things that are in front of me that I need to knock out of the way. So Cecil the Diesel, he's not going to back down. He's just going to put the pedal to the metal and go straight ahead. So that's what I envision Cecil being.
Well, it's very fitting to Joseph Campbell's work in the hero's journey, because one of his biggest works was The Hero with 1,000 Masks, right? And it speaks to all of our pieces of personality, and at different places in life when those things might be right to put on and bring forth. And we literally have to call them forward just like that. We have to invoke that piece of ourselves to have the courage, to have the strength, to have the, the wherewithal, and maybe, call in allies and pass lessons, right? That's where, like you said, this becomes very practical. Let's come back for one more episode because I want to dive a little deeper into the actual Ending Parkinson's Disease Act and what others might do to join us. All right.
All right.
See you in a minute.